Hello and welcome back to Court TV Live. I'm Michael Ayala. Let's be honest. How do we know which of these two actors is telling the truth? They're both actors after all, and actors act. Well, during the 2 days that Amber Heard has been on the stand, we saw sporadic displays of emotion as she recounted events that are horrifying and disturbing, to say the least.
I struggle to find the words to describe how painful this is. This is the most painful and difficult thing I've ever gone through. So much. But he's the love of my life. I'm looking at him in his eyes, and I don't see him anymore. I don't see him anymore. It wasn't him. It was black. I've never been so scared in my life. It was black. I couldn't see him. And my head was bashing against the back of the bar, and I couldn't breathe. Sorry. I'm sorry. I don't know. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. I don't know what happened next. I don't want to do this. I felt this pressure. He on my pubic bone, and he thought he was punching me. This came out in Ben's evidence because he didn't share it until this date.
Objection, Your Honor.
Sustained. And so I recognized it. And I just looked right at him, just looked right at his face, leaned back, and headbutted me square in the nose. Just right as I stood in front of him.
All right, I am very excited to welcome a special guest for this segment. Jury consultant and human behavior expert Susan Constantine is back with me. Great to see you, Susan. Still with me also, trial attorney Krista Ramey. Susan, I'm so happy you joined me because this is a tough one. We've got two actors taking the stand, and I want to kind of go through how we sort through this testimony. I'm sure you've been watching some of this trial. Amber Heard, she's been scrutinized viciously online across social media. I want to get your thoughts initially on her body language, how she's relating to this jury. Some folks saying they're having trouble connecting with her. I want to get your thoughts.
Well, one of the things that I did, Michael, to really understand who she is, not only as an actress, but also as a person. So I went back and analyzed video going back to her early career. So when she was on different television shows and she took interviews, I'm trying to watch, her different times of emoting. What does she look like when she's just in a normal conversation? Then I'm comparing it to now. Now she's in the spotlight. She's right here in court, and she's telling this story about her abusive relationship. So when I'm watching her body language, I'm looking to see if her words are syncing with her facial expression doesn't match. So overall, what I'm seeing with her is this animated, overarching, overly expressive expressions. The other thing that I'm noticing, where's the tears? So I see her crying and getting herself all histrionic, but where is the tears? The tears are not flowing. She has these very rapid movements. She's jumping up and down in her chair. She's moving around. And those would all be indicative of somebody that's feeling uncomfortable. But I've looked at a lot of video, and I'm going to speak to your other guests too. In all of my years as a trial consultant, and I've worked on a lot of high-profile cases and watched them, I have never seen this type of demeanor and theatrics ever in any case I have ever worked on. This is the worst performance of Amber Heard in her career.
All right, Krista, I've got to let you respond to that. You seem to think she was doing fairly well. Susan differs.
Well, and I see where she's saying. I did notice that I was like, I can't really see if there's tears. I questioned that yesterday when I was watching. To this point, though, one of the problems that I've had with both Amber Heard and Johnny Depp's testimony is the level of detail. I've represented a lot of trauma victims, and as a trial lawyer, we want to tell a story in a way that has beginning, middle, and end, and it's easy for the jury to digest. Here, with a trauma victim, you would expect to have much more fragmented memories and missing pieces. And you don't have that here. You have a lot of detail. And so that, to me, is a little suspicious when a story is being told. But memories can be brought out through therapy, through lawyers questioning with evidence, and maybe putting together pieces for her. But to that point, I think that is problematic.
Yeah, fair enough. And Susan, I want to Krista's point about the therapy. Could it be, in Amber's defense, she's gone through a lot of therapy. These things happened 6, 7, 8 years ago, different times, but all the way back to 2013. She's talked about it in court. She's talked about it with therapists. She's talked about it with her lawyers. Could it just be that some of that emotion is not there in the same way, and that's why the tears aren't flowing?
Well, I think that she's trying to relive this again. She's trying to match the evidence with the emotion. She's trying to hypen it up. So to your point is that, yes, when a person has gone through trauma and they go through therapy, and it certainly will help them to kind of float through these very high stressful times when they have to express what happened. But here's there's just so much I'd like to share with you. If she had gone through all of this therapy, and if she had PTSD, did she go through EMDR therapy? If she went through EMDR therapy and somebody were asking her questions that would create a feeder memory, taking her back into the subconscious mind, bringing it forward, like replaying a tape again, she would more easily be able to flow through those, because what she's learned to do is to nullify some of those triggers. So who's triggering her? There's no one here triggering her. She's being asked a question, and then she's going on into her own dialogue, and she continually hyper escalates these particular events. Does not make sense to me at all.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. I think it does. I don't know if it necessarily means she's lying, but I certainly think you're right. I think she's trying to trigger these feelings herself. I do want to get into Johnny Depp, some of the things we're seeing from him while he's sitting in that chair, while he's listening to the testimony. I want to play a quick soundbite. I want you to focus in on Johnny Depp here.
What, if any, penetration was there in your vagina? With the bottle.
Yeah. I can't believe
I'm so sorry.
To do this.
I am so sorry.
Johnny had the bottle inside of me and was shoving it inside of me over and over again.
Susan, arguably the worst story she's told to this jury, and there he is, turning, snickering, almost smiling, sarcastically. What do you read there?
Yeah, that's exactly what he's doing. He's being very sarcastic. That is really what he's doing. So he stonewalls a lot. He doesn't like Amber. I mean, no doubt. He doesn't like to tolerate her. So what he does is he doesn't give her any attention. And his hands up like this, and when you want it covering your mouth, you're doing everything you can to hold back what you're really feeling and wanting to say. So since he can't really speak it out, what does he do? He goes to his attorney, and he's got to release it there, and that's when he snickers, because he thinks it's a bunch of baloney. But he's also looking at his attorney for affirmation.
Yeah, and Krista, so what effect does that have on the jury? That can be interpreted many, many different ways, especially in a case where we're talking about perhaps one person bullying another. That could just be seen as another form of bullying.
Yes, it can be, and that's I'm so sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry, that was for Krista. Excuse me, Susan.
Oh, no, I was going to say that if I ever had a client do that, and I have had clients that have gotten a little bit reactive during trial when the other side is testifying, and it is bad. You cannot let a jury see you react that way, because if this jury believes this witness, if they are thinking that Amber is being truthful and describing a horrific act of sexual violence, and then they look over and seeing who now they think potentially could be the perpetrator of that act, snicker about it, I think it does not play well. So, hopefully over these next 10 days, his lawyers talk to him about, proper courtroom etiquette and decorum, because this is not it.
Yeah, I think his lawyers are playing along. I don't think they're going to tell him that at all, because it has not changed throughout her entire time on the stand. All right, Susan Constantine, there's so much to talk about, so little time. We absolutely are going to have you on the show again. Really great information. Truly appreciate you joining us tonight.